Oh man, have no fear, have no fear. Our bounce back week is complete. Welcome back to the Fake Stuff Podcast. Back at it again, gambling. For those of y'all who've been listening, I come on once a week, or you'll hear the craft man, and we give out all our gambling picks once a week. Our week one slate, terrible man, just straight booty man. We just taking L's after L's after L's, but then we bounced back week two and dominated man. I had a great week. Craft man had a great week. Bubble Blow had a great week. P Miller, everybody, the podcast had a great week, making that money. And what do we do when we make that money? We take that money, we take it, we save it, and we grow. We build that bankroll up, try to build it up. I'm all about that bankroll management, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to everybody who been listening to the podcast. Shouting out to them gambling picks. And first of all, I just want to say thank y'all for listening to the show, and thank y'all for being part of this podcast company or whatnot. And me and Craftman, we've been on the grind, and I love the grind. The week 3 grind is here, just 14 more weeks of it. And as far as the podcast goes, it's about win the week. Let's win the week. Let's win Thursday night. Let's start off hot. Let's finish off Sunday. Cap it off Monday. So win the week. And it was a good week last week. I mean, me personally, was the best week of gambling I've ever had. Period. I was hitting on my baseball bets all week. College football came around, smoked that too. The fights came around. Check us out on the Ground and Pound podcast. But the fights came around. Bunch of underdogs, and we won. So, best week of gambling I've probably ever had. But can't get cocky. You can't get excited. The people at the Fake Stuff Podcast, we just go put our head down, and get into that grind, and do it again, and build upon it. So, everybody, thank y'all for listening to the podcast. For those of y'all who don't know, we give a Thursday night slate, and then I give all the picks for the rest of the week. So let me just recap last week real quick. On the game lines, we were 3-1. The only one we lost was motherfucking Denver. And whatever the heck happened at the end of the game with the Colts missing the game-winning field goal, they got called for that penalty, leverage or whatever, and they got to re-kick it and won. So I had thought I'd won, stepped away, came back, realized I had lost, pissing me off. Yeah, tough one, man. Tough loss to take, but we would have had a full-blown sweep on the game lines this past week, 3-1. But Craftman and Noah Bubble Blower back at it again, 5-1 on the prop bets is what I got, and Aaron Jones got hurt, so we'll take the L for it for now. So as far as the season goes, we're 4-6 on the game lines, so wasn't have no fear, had to dig ourselves out of the hole. We're right back at it. On the prop bets, we are 6-7, and on the demon picks, 1-4. So we were 1-0 on demon picks last week, and that was with a T. Higgins touchdown. So let's go in there and let's make that money. Check us out on YouTube. If you want to see every bet placed, check us out on YouTube. You can see everything that we have put out there. But for those of y'all who listen to audio, just keep doing your thing, man. I appreciate y'all. I try to be I try to verbalize it the best I can. But with that said, don't be a hoe. Share the show. Let's go right to our Thursday night football slate. Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills. The line right now, what I'm looking at, is sitting at Buffalo Bills minus 11.5. I've seen it at 12.5. So here would be my advice right here: is stay the fuck away from this game right here. The reason why I say that is because Josh Allen is, let me think of the stat. I got it at the top of my head. He's at 0-7 covering the spread when they are 10 points or more favored by 10 or more points. The line is at 11.5. Josh Allen and them don't seem to cover it. It's just one of those trends. Me personally, I want to put the money on Miami. If I was, if I was sitting here doing it and I was just placing a bet right now, I would lay the points with Miami, but I just could not do that shit. Could not do it. They are so bad, bro. So bad. So I would expect Buffalo to come out here and just dominate But like I said, statistics say he don't cover, and I'm into it. I'm into the statistics. I'm into where the money's going, and I'm not going to place a bet on a Thursday night game just because it's the only game and it's Thursday night. So for me, my best advice is stay away. Don't put money on that thing. The prop bets we got all James Cook. So listen, man, if if you want every breakdown of every game me and Craftman did, go look for everything you know for week 3. So when I come in here and do this gambling, you might not get the most in-depth analysis. Just check out what me and Craftman talked about last episode, everything, or what you need to know for week 3. Because right here, my purpose is I just want to tell y'all the bets that we get out. And for us, the game script looks like James Cook. I got 3 prop bets for James Cook. We're all going to hit. We're looking for him to have a big night. James Cook over 65.5 rushing yards. Miami's defense is trash. Their rushing defense is really bad. Also, James Cook, longest rush, over 14.5 rushing yards. I mean, that seems, I don't know. I mean, it seems pretty easy. And then one more. Expect James Cook to score over 0.5 receiving or rushing touchdowns. So, listen, the truth is we think the Bills are going to dominate, and we think James Cook is going to dominate. They said James Cook couldn't score touchdowns a second year in a row, and here he is doing that shit. The man's paid. The man's happy. He's running the ball. I would expect him to dominate, and I know the rest of the crew expects that same thing. So, like I said, stay away from the Thursday night game line, and then hit on these prop bets. James Cook to do it all. I got it all right here. James Cook to score a touchdown, longest rush over 14.5 yards, and James Cook over 65.5 rushing yards. Easy money. Easy money. Let's slide it on to the next game lines. I got 3 for your ass. A little bit less than last week, but it's like I said, I don't come in here and just place bets on games after games after games. I come in here and I put in the work. I get in the lab and I do it. I wanna win the game. I want to be disciplined. I want to make the right decision. And I got 3 games for your ass. Some may agree, some may not agree, but me and the poor man P. Miller, we like to go against the grain sometimes, and I feel like we have as much success as anybody out there. So the first one I got is the Dallas Cowboys money line. It's a pick 'em versus the Chicago Bears. Listen, this bet is specifically because I don't think Dallas is good, but I don't think Chicago's good. I think Chicago, it's just one of those things. When you bet, you know there's teams that are goofy and you don't want to put money on, and the Bears are one of them. I'm a Falcons fan, and every time I think about putting the money on the Falcons, which I do every now and then, I think it's the Falcons. They're going to do something goofy. They're going to fuck it up, and they do. And they did it for me week 1, and I don't want to put money on the Falcons again. That's the way the Bears are. I don't want to put money on the Bears. I don't care if they're at home. I believe Dallas could probably score. Chicago could probably score too. If you want to hear our analysis of the game, go listen to that last episode that me and the Craftman dropped. But I got the Dallas money line. This had a pick 'em. I just can't trust Chicago. I don't care nothing about them. And I think Dallas is going to, go in there and at least squeak out a little win versus the Bears. And I've been on the Bears, like I hammered on their under season-long bets. I hammered on their under. They've already started off 0-2, so look for them. I'm just sticking to the way I felt to them at the beginning of the year. I ain't gonna change it up now even though things are going smooth. Next, I got Tampa Bay minus 6.5 versus the Jets, and we don't even know if Justin Fields is playing, because to me it sounds like he's not even playing. 6.5 is the perfect line, because if it was 7, I might not do it. If it was 7.5, I wouldn't even touch it. I'm not a 7.5. I'm not a 3.5 kind of guy. So 6.5 is perfect, man. And I think this line will probably move because if Justin Fields don't play, it'll definitely move. So catch it early while you can. We'll be releasing this on a Thursday morning. They don't play till Sunday, so hopefully 6.5, perfect. Bucks, they're a good team to bet on too. They usually come through for me. So Tampa Bay minus 6.5. Look for Baker Mayfield and them to get it done. The defense, I don't think they'll give up too much towards the Jets. Even if Justin Fields comes in and goes nuclear, I just don't think he could really do that versus Tampa Bay like that, because the game he did do it versus Steelers, I just don't think that defense is that good. Sketchy one right here. Arizona, money line versus San Francisco. The underdogs at plus 125. This is, like to take me a little underdog money line. The thing is that San Francisco's banged up. Their only player that they rolling out there are Christian McCaffrey, and they're rolling out Ricky Pearsall. I know that Jawan Jennings is questionable, so he could be in the lineup, but I would look for Arizona. I know they're good. I know you talk about some goofy teams. Arizona's one of them, and here I am placing a little bet on them. They wanted to throw the game away versus Carolina, let the foot off the brake a little bit. But here I am, Arizona money line. I'm back at it, and I like it. You know, those are the three bets I placed. Some lines I do like. I do like the Panthers to cover the Falcons. That was a good one. I just decided to stay away. That was one. I had my eye on Bengals +3 versus the Vikings, both going out there with some backups. But Jacob Browning's a solid backup. So those are just some lines that I really like. But just to say, the three bets that me and the fellas placed this week: Dallas money line, Tampa Bay -6.5, and Arizona money line. And I know everybody ain't gonna like that slate, but this is what I'll just say: just because you don't like it, don't mean it ain't gonna work. Because I go against the grain all the fucking time. Me and Phil are always going against the grain. We think different, we see things different, and that's just what led to these three bets that we placed today. Let's move to what all y'all really want to hear. I know all y'all really want some prop bets, PrizePicks, underdog, dabble, sleeper, you name it. Wherever you can get some over and unders on your regular gambling sites. If you don't want to do parlays, you can play single bets. I'm a single bet kind of guy. I'm not really a parlay kind of guy. Um, but I I should start probably looking into placing single bets on some of these props. But yeah, we got a bunch for you. We had a good week last week. The first one is Bijan Robinson over 78.5 rushing yards. Look for Bijan Robinson to dominate the Panthers. Panthers been giving up a lot of rushing yards. A lot, really, the Panthers' success has been coming in garbage time anyway. So look for Bijan. Heck, look for Algier to get some work too. So over 78.5 rushing yards. Then I got Amon-Ra St. Brown, beast, most underrated. I'm gonna be real. Is Amon-Ra the most underrated wide receiver that we've like seen amongst fantasy football people? Because people still doubt this man all the time. It's like, dude, that dude's a wide receiver. He's finished as a wide receiver 2 and a wide receiver 3 the past 2 seasons. Right now, he's a wide receiver 3. I know it's just 2 weeks, but we're smacking on the over 62.5 receiving yards all day for Amon-Ra. I almost dropped my whole notebook, computer, and everything. Zay Flowers, over 66.5 receiving yards. Look, Zay Flowers been on a roll this year. I was a little skeptical. I always got to be skeptical of Baltimore wide receivers, but Craftman said it last episode. He thinks Baltimore, along with his Packers, are the best team in the NFL. Zay Flowers has looked sharp. Look for him to hit the over on 66.5 receiving yards. Next, I got T-Law, under. The under. 237.5 passing yards. Listen, nobody likes Trevor Lawrence, but he looked good last week. BTJ's the one struggling right now. He dealing with a wrist injury, they say. But look, the Texans got a good defense. A big divisional game between these two teams, Houston, Jacksonville. So I'm kind of excited because this game right here is going to kind of give us an indication of how this division might go. This is going to be a big game. So look for Trevor Lawrence to hit the under on 237.5 passing yards. Along with that, Brian Thomas Jr. under 68.5 receiving yards. Been trash this year. Been just straight trash this year, man. So, listen, if he is dealing with a wrist injury like they say, and we saw the way he played last week, gotta love the under. He's had a slow start this week. We're hitting the under again. We're going to continue that trend, and let's go make some money off of it. I got Jawan Johnson over 39.5 receiving yards. And look, he's in your lineups. We said it last episode. That dude's in your lineups. Gotta be. The amount of targets he gets, it just seems 40 yards is easy money. So look for him to have a good game. He's had a great season. Look for him to have another good start, another good game versus the Seattle defense. Over 39.5 receiving yards. We got Chase Brown under 70.5 rushing yards. Look, Chase Brown been trash. And Joe Burrow's out now, so things are not looking good for the Bengals. It's looking like a total collapse for these guys this year. And Burrow's missing a lot of time. Chase Brown hasn't been running the ball too well. It's been, most of his success is even coming through the passing game. Look for him under 70.5 rushing yards. Just don't like it. Let's look at Caleb Williams. Under 0.5 passing touchdowns. I guess it's Caleb Williams. I'm wondering what the Oh man, I was about to say that line don't make no sense to me. I gotta apologize to the fellas and all y'all listening. Caleb Williams over 0.5 passing touchdowns. I was about to say, I mean, it didn't make no sense for me. The Cowboys defense been trash. Um, Make sure y'all hit on the over. Don't go for that under. Hit on the over. Roma Dunze's been hot. Got 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Um, Caleb Williams, he'll probably have some success for that Dallas. If Russell Wilson with Wandale Robinson and all them could dominate that Dallas Cowboy defense, I believe Caleb Williams he could at least get 1 touchdown. So Mike Evans, our only demon of the week. We hit our only demon last week. We're hitting our only demon this week. Mike Evans over 0.5 receiving or rushing touchdowns. He's going. Mike Evans is always a threat to score a touchdown. We're picking this week for him to score. Always a red zone threat. So Mike Evans scored a touchdown, our only demon pick. We hit on our demons last week. For those of y'all who don't know, when you're on PrizePicks, they have demons, they got goblins. Demons are hard, goblins are easy. We wanted to separate our demon ones because not all of these are created equal. Some of these odds are different, so we wanted to make sure that y'all knew which ones were our demon ones. Mike Evans over 0.5 receiving or rushing touchdown. Listen, man, I'm not going to recap the whole thing, but check us out on YouTube if you want to see them all popped up in front of your face. Now, here we are back at it again. I got one DFS lineup for your ass. I had Craftman and Phil just sent me a couple of them. We're going to go with what the Craftman sent me. He put in a lot of hard work, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Craftman's DFS lineup. So for those of y'all who don't know, the philosophy we like to use here in our DFS lineups is most of the time we like to go cheap at tight end, cheap at quarterback, cheap at defense, so that we can use our beast players, get some of our best players in our lineups and our wide receiver, running backs, and flex spots. That's usually the strategy we like to use. I know last week we hit on Trey McBride, so we switched it up a little bit, with the tight ends, but we back at it again. First of all, Caleb Williams at quarterback. And then we got Jonathan Taylor and Kenneth Walker as our running backs. Kenneth Walker had a big bounce back last week. Our wide receivers are Rome Odunze, Devontae Adams, and George Pickens. Our tight end, like I said, we go cheap at tight end. Jatavian Sanders for the Panthers. Going against the Falcons, I love anybody versus the Falcons defense all the time, every time. We got Bijan Robinson as the flex, because we all think he's going to dominate. And then Tampa Bay defense for your ass, the Kraft man says, versus the Jets, who could be with a backup quarterback. So that's your DFS lineup for the weeks. Caleb Williams, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Rome Odunze, Devontae Adams, George Pickens, Jatavion Sanders, Bijan Robinson, and Tampa Bay defense. That's the DFS lineup for your ass. Everybody, thank y'all for listening to the podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in for the Fake Stuff podcast. Listen, like I said, check out our episode, Everything You Need to Know, because if you want to hear a game-by-game breakdown, me and the Craft Man broke it down for you. Right here on episodes like this, me and the Craft Man like to just put out our bets, place them. We want to help everybody make money. I want to make money. I want to build it up. I want to save it. I want it to grow. I want to go buy crypto. I want to do my thing. I'm on that grind, man. I fucking love this shit, bro. Love it. With that said, follow me at Twitter at Hamm. It's not just about NFL for me. I'm gambling in college. I'm gambling in the fights. Hit on that Terrence Crawford. I know some of y'all were on that Canelo. You took the L. Your boy Matt Hamm didn't. So follow me at Hamm. Check me out. I'm placing bets all the time. But most of all, check us out at the Fake Stuff Podcast. Don't be a motherfucking hoe and share the motherfucking show. And thank y'all for listening. Everybody, I am out.